Hey, how is everyone? Lou from RV Habit. Today's project at hand is going to be replacing this kitchen faucet. And there's really nothing wrong with this faucet. It's well constructed, it's stainless steel, except I'd like to get a higher one, more modern, and make it easier to get pots and stuff underneath the faucet. And this one even has a sprayer, but the new one will too. Now I wanted to go with a bronze one to match the handles on the cabinets, but this sink is stainless steel, so I'm going to stay with stainless steel. The first thing I'm going to do is turn off the water pump, disconnect the city water, and I'm actually going to open up the low point drain to drain water from the lines to hopefully try and stay as dry as possible. And then I'll come back, I'll show you the new faucet. So this is my new faucet, stainless steel. It comes with a base. This is the spout, and the spout has a sprayer on it, and it comes with 2 water lines. Now, most kitchen faucets today have one single post that goes through the hole on the countertop, and then a large nut that tightens up against the bottom of the countertop. Now, most of the ones you will purchase today, the nut, you can see how large the nut is here. The older ones, they're real thin, and a lot of times you need a wrench to get them off. I'll show you when we take this one off, because that's the type it is. It's a real thin one, but they're much more user friendly now. This is a large nut. You can actually grab it with your hand and hand tighten it. It doesn't have to be crazy tight. The other thing is that comes with these 2 water lines, and kitchen faucets generally come with what they call 3/8 inch compression fittings, unlike what we have in an RV, which is 1/2 inch. So you may need to purchase an adapter. Just make sure it's good for potable water. It has no lead in it, but it's going to go from 1/2 inch, which I have on my RV, the PEX, to a 3/8 inch compression, which will allow me to connect the new water lines to it, just like that. It's that simple. It's not a big deal. The hardest part always in every new RV is trying to get in there. Usually the spaces are real tight. Now my space, actually the opening is 11 inches wide, so I have to actually wiggle in there. Once I get in there and get the old one off, the new one should actually be a lot easier to install than taking the old one off. So this is underneath my kitchen cabinet. I've removed the door to give myself a little bit more room. There's only 11 inches of space here, and I have to get way up underneath here, and I'll show you a little closer. So as you can see there, that's the 2 PEX lines from the RV going into the current RV faucet, and again you can see that's 1/2 inch there. And then if I can get up underneath here and show you, that's the nut I got to remove way up underneath there. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's 2 Phillips screws. You have to just back them off a little bit and the other nut will come right off. So that's what I'm going to do first. So the first thing I'm doing is loosening these Phillips nuts. If you could see that locks that nut in place. And then see, as soon as I loosen them, that lets me turn them. But it's actually hitting this side of the cabinet. Here we go. And that nut comes off. Before I go up to take the faucet out, I'm going to remove the water lines down here. Once I break it free with my hand, and I can unscrew it. So those 2 are off. And again, as you can see, that's 1/2 inch, and they have an adapter on that. I'm also going to take the weight off while I'm down here before we go up there. I have all my connections below disconnected, so I should be able to pull this all the way up. The only connection I have is this hose here. Goes down and then back in here, so I'm going to pull this out and see if I can work on it up here instead of down there. And I can. As you can see, You see how this faucet actually has the 1/2 inch adapter on it. And again, it's probably because it's specifically made. They buy these to put in the RVs, so they don't need adapters, but we're going to need the adapter. Here's the connection for the sprayer. I'm just going to disconnect that. Again, do as much as you can up top. There's no sense struggling with these nuts down below. And I'll put this back down there and then pull it up straight. And it's out. So I have the new faucet. You can see there's 3 connections. There's one marked with a red for hot, blue for cold, and this other connection is going to be for the sprayer hose. Now again, I want to do all my connections up top. I do not want to do anything underneath. And the way these work is these have 2 O-rings on them. There's no pipe tape or anything needed. This is the blue hose, so I'm going to just get the blue hose in there and we'll tighten it up. I have my hot and cold water connected, and I want to connect this, but I have to do a couple things first. One, it has to go through the base, so to get it through here, and it's just going to fit. It's not. We got a knot. Okay. So we got it through the base. Now, this has to come back up and connect here. And I can't bend this and put it through. So I'm going to put it down, and then I'm going to go underneath and push the other end back up. So what I've done is this sprayer hose, I push down through the hole, I put the nut on this hose, and then push this hose back up here. So I have to make one more connection, and I want to do it up here. I don't want to do it underneath the sink. And this connection is real easy. It's just to connect the sprayer hose. You put your washer in and just tighten the nut on there. And it really doesn't have to be too tight. Again, this is plumbing, so you don't want to go crazy. I'm just going to give it a 1/2 turn with a wrench, and that's it. And that should be fine. So now I have everything here. I want to get these down through there. Perfect. And once I get this all on, I'll reposition this. So before I go back underneath to tighten everything up, these are my adapters, and you don't need any pipe tape or dope on the 3/8 compression that has a washer in it. You don't need anything, but you do need a little bit on the 1/2 inch threads that attach to the pecs. So I'm just going to put a little pipe thread on both of them, and then we'll go underneath and we'll connect it all up. I've tightened that nut up there to tighten the faucet, and this is my sprayer hose. I'm going to put a weight on here, and these are the 2 hot and cold. I've put my adapters on my PEX lines, so now all I need to do is attach the hoses to my adapter. And that's 2. I'm going to tighten everything down and turn on the water. We'll check for leaks. So we have everything tightened up underneath. I've had the water pump on for about 20 minutes, all dry, no leaks, so perfect. Next thing I want to do is I just want to flush this faucet out. There may be some debris in here from manufacturing or what I did. So if you have a spout or an aerator, you just want to disconnect it. And there's a washer in here too, be careful. And then just flush it out. This way, if you have an aerator, you're not going to get any debris in the aerator and clog it up. And that's it. Tighten this up. Put it in. It looks great. Got a sprayer. Good pressure. Fantastic. Well, I hope this helped you out. This is a little more in depth than doing a bathroom faucet, but definitely doable for a DIYer. So you can get these anywhere, Amazon, your big box store. As always though, I appreciate you watching. I'll see you soon.